The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How LEGO Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync! Hello everybody and welcome to TTV episode 141.
We made it.
How's it going, guys? How's life and such?
I don't want to say anything. Stop it! I don't want to. Okay.
I'm returning to the days of old. I don't know when I stopped saying how's life and such, but it was never intentional.
So if you're gonna save something, save it until freaking 150. Don't do it now in 141. Come on.
That's not exactly a big reveal. I'm going
Alright,
back
guys.
to a quote that I already used.
Episode 150,
That's
the
saying,
extravaganza is How's Life and Such. That would actually
Spoiler
make
alert.
a lot of sense for you.
Yeah.
Would it really?
It would.
Yeah, like
Me and
that's
my
a grand
quotes.
surprise for everyone.
Oh, okay,
Over
yeah.
the years, there have been tons of quotes which I would like spam ad nauseum, sometimes mange, and then just retire them completely.
Thank God.
Like, we used to be like, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
I forgot about
And,
that. Yeah.
It's rotor.
It's rotor.
All this other
What
stuff.
about flying? Was it a really old one?
That wasn't mine though. That was what you guys were making fun of me for when I lagged out mid-episode.
Yeah, I know, but like that was something you said, and then we started making fun of you because of that.
Such kind friends you are.
I know. Speaking
How
of
is
the kind
everybody's
friends
week
we have, let's introduce our kind friends.
Nice, good segue. I like it. I'm
Thank you.
I'm LJ.
I'm Kahi.
I'm frustrated.
Good.
And you're also Takuma. Why are you frustrated?
It's not a good segue if you then go, oh, that's a good segue.
Yeah, in my defense, Messa is the one that ruined it. I'm not saying looking at me. I'm not saying looking at me. Messa was the one saying good segue. I'm not like, look at that professional segue.
I didn't say anything
I
particular. I'm just.
I have. Well, you said look at me. I'm making a good segue. Like I'm the one doing it.
I said look at
I'm just
me.
letting-
I didn't say look at you.
I'm just
I wasn't
letting
mocking.
know.
I was
Good
mocking
job.
Meso.
To be fair, though, I
I have too many mocks of
interrupted.
me already.
Whatever.
I have like interrupted Ben's segue once before because I was segueing into something and he decided to do a crappier segue on top
Vin's
of that.
segues are atrocious. They're worse than mine.
I saw that. I saw the one you talked about. I saw TTV Talks this morning because it's Saturday. Spoilers for everybody. We record TTV on Saturday and release it Monday usually. So TTV Talks came out yesterday, and I wasn't there for it because there's some trials
Spoiler
and
alert
tribulations.
for Avengers 2.
Freaking
Somebody
okay. So
died.
I'm just no. Hey, why would you do that now? Why would you do that now? I just gave you a huge thing about why that isn't cool that we put it in the episode. Why would you do that now for this episode?
I didn't give you a huge thing about why it wasn't cool. You gave me.
That's what I said. I just gave you a huge thing. About
Clearly,
like
VAR thought it was okay.
Yeah, well, VAR
I
freaking-
trust in VAR's judgment.
no, it's not okay. We shouldn't be spoiling people like that. We should bleep that part of the episode out. But it's already out.
Spoiler
But we should
alert,
bleep
nobody
this part
dies in
of the episode.
Avengers 2.
Oh my god, Mess, I'm gonna murder you. I realize why VAR has been like, you're too much.
Hey, listen, we have the latest Bionicle episode today, so when we get to that part of the news, I'm gonna rant on that as well. So get ready.
Oh,
This
gosh.
episode is gonna be the episode where I go nuts.
Somehow. No, just forget it.
Before we get into news, though, how's everybody's week been? Had a good week?
Yeah.
I've had the worst week probably ever in a very long time.
Lucky
Why?
you.
Do tell.
Well, okay, so everything that could go wrong this week happened to go wrong this week. One, my electricity bill came in. I couldn't pay it because, I didn't have enough money. So I had no electricity for a couple days. Alright. 2, because of that, I couldn't work on my presentation for finals. Because finals week is, it's not this week, but finals is coming up, so they had to do presentations. So I had to do that, and I couldn't get that done, but fortunately I was able to work something out with my partner. So that wasn't too bad. But in the interim, while my internet was out, I could not access my email or anything, obviously, because I have no electricity here. So during that interval, Indiegogo decided to, for some reason, that they couldn't validate who I was, so they canceled my campaign and refunded everybody that donated. So I lost all the money that people had donated to the Get Me an Xbox One campaign.
You need to put that back up. It was Sebastian Kobiela and Carrie Tang.
Right. I mean, again, shout outs to those guys for just considering to donate in the first place. But
They're great people for doing it.
Right. But yeah, your donations have been refunded. They should be in your bank account by now, I believe. So
put it back up, Kahi. Hurry.
I might. I don't know.
Hurry. Your bank account is dwindling.
So yeah, but basically this week has been like a terrible, terrible week.
Wow. See, I've had a pretty good week, but uneventful. It's just been good. Nothing in particular has really happened.
That seems like such a lame life to live.
It's better than all this terrible stuff.
It is better than all this terrible stuff.
How's life been with you, LJ?
I'm selling my Xbox 360, by the way. In case anybody wants that for some reason.
Would you really sell it to a fan?
Yeah, sure. I'd sell it to anybody. I just need extra money to pay for some more bills. So,
okay.
If anybody's interested, I went to freaking GameStop. You know how much do you think GameStop offers for Xbox 360 Slim 4GB?
$50.
LJ, what about you? What do you think?
How much did Meso say? $350?
Yeah.
50.
Oh, 50. I'd say $250. If you chuck in some games, maybe it'll go up from there.
Takuma, what do you think?
How much you sell an Xbox for?
Yeah,
on GameStop.
On GameStop. I say I have an Xbox 360 still
I don't
in
know.
working
Screw
condition, everything there.
GameStop.
I know. I just want to know what you think they would offer.
I have honestly no. I don't even have a 360.
But like, how much you
controllers?
think?
Remember?
Right.
How much do you think one is worth?
Yeah.
I have not at this point.
Just give an arbitrary figure.
An arbitrary.
This is what our TTV episode is, guys. How much is an Xbox?
Yep. Okay, Kahi, just say it.
All right, just screw you, Takuma.
This is going nowhere fast.
$28.
What?
$28. And I was like, well, I have a new copy of Grand Theft Auto. He's like, oh yeah, no, add another $10 to it.
Are you kidding me?
And I was like,
it's
are
awful.
you freaking kidding me? I
It's
thought
one of
I
the
would
newer
at least-
versions too. It's a slim.
It's a slim. It's not like an old, it's a slim. Apparently it will only get you $28. You trade in GameStop. So I'm not like, obviously GameStop will turn around and sell that for like $150 at least.
You know it. GameStop's terrible.
So if a fan out there is kind of interested, and sure, I might end up taking it to a pawn shop. I just need to get like some money really quickly. Obviously, if you're a fan out there, I'm pretty sure you already have an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One, so,
That's a bold claim to make.
Well, I mean, I'm not like, making any, not promises, but I'm not having my hopes up that somebody will buy it. But I hope to get more than freaking $28 for it. I feel like that's a huge ripoff.
Yeah. Didn't your parents want to buy it for like $100?
Yeah, they talked about it. I haven't talked to them about it yet. Because
You should,
I don't
feel
think
like
I don't
a
know
better
my
price
brother.
than you're gonna get from
I don't know my
fans.
brother is gonna really want that. So maybe not. My dad is kind of already paying me, or not paying me. He's giving me some money to help but I mean like he's paying for the apartment I'm going to move into in August, which is
nice.
right. So anyhow, Bionicle,
Well,
that's a cool thing, right?
You need more money. That's basically what it boils
Basically,
down to.
yeah.
Everybody needs money.
Everybody needs money, and I need more of it. So
There are way too many
Indiegogo.
things that I need to buy this year, and my finances are like not there.
Right.
Between Halo 5 and all the Destiny DLC, and this Bionicle summer set, and the Star Wars construction figures. Oh, that's like $300 to $400 right there. Oh no, and then I wanted a Wii U at some point.
You need
What?
to get a job.
Yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah, Meso, like,
I really do.
Why don't you have a job? Aren't you almost 18?
Yep. I need to look into one.
I thought that
'Cause I need
I
more
remember a while
finances.
back you went to a computer shop and it's some issue or whatnot you were asking about. They were impressed with how
Yeah.
much you knew. They were like, "You ever want a job, son? You can come on over here."
Yeah, I may take him up on that.
Should.
I need to learn a bit more
Wait.
about computers.
What did you know about computers that surprised
Just general
people?
stuff that they didn't expect a kid my age for some reason would know as much as he did. Even though I would imagine most kids my age at that time know probably more than I do.
I mean, yeah,
It's just-
you're
that's the
not like
computer age.
you're not like dumb with computers or anything. It's just like you're not the. If I thought of a computer expert, I wouldn't really. You know what I'm saying?
This is the age of computers. Most people know how to operate technology to some degree.
You know, in fact, I'm pretty sure a 12-year-old has taken your spot. He has taken that job now because you didn't.
Yeah, probably. But no, moral of the story, I need money.
Good job.
Because of the Bionicle summer sets, am I right, guys? Segway! So it's like, the future of Bionicle is very bleak. There we go, it's gonna set the tone for this discussion
No, it's
right
not
there.
very bleak. You're so negative. Why are you so negative?
I'm not negative. Someone has to be that guy. It can't always be LJ.
No, you
I
what?
have
to-
What kind of argument is that? I'm not negative. Someone always has to be the negative guy. That means you're negative. That means you're negative.
Not the negative guy, that guy. The guy that has conflicting opinions. Like,
You mean
the ninth
negative
episode of-
opinions?
The 9th episode of Bionicle came out in English, finally, which means we've wrapped the winter story. And, well, what are you guys' thoughts on it? Because I feel I'm the only one that really dislikes it.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, it's really difficult to give your thoughts and opinions on the one episode without launching into an
Yeah.
overarching overview of
Which we
opinions.
will probably do anyway because the episodes are over.
Yeah.
So just go for it. Say what you want.
I don't think it was the worst. The worst one. It was funny. That was for sure. Unintentionally funny. And I'm glad almost all the Toa, except for, I think, Kopaka, got to say something. But I don't think it was the best one either. As far as the series goes, I'm content. I'm happy with it.
I'm happy for you. Very happy for you.
It
Yeah.
was a little bit of an anticlimactic episode, just because like you felt like there should be more, and it is a little. None of the other Bionicle episodes have had credits, and this episode does have credits. So there's a point in the episode where, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see that there's a huge space left on the bar. You're like, "Oh man, what's gonna happen?" And it's just credits, and you're like, "Oh, oh." You know what
Kind
I'm
of a
saying?
shame.
I mean, it's every episode so far has been like around 90 seconds long, so it's not. You shouldn't surprise you, you know, but like it's set up so that you think there's more, and the episode is set up to end on a cliffhanger. So you think that something is actually going to happen, and there's the rest of the video to watch it happen. And
Yeah.
you know, it's not. So that's why I feel it's a little anticlimactic, just because of the way it's set up and the way it's presented. But I thought it was
I feel
alright.
the content of the episode, the plot and the story was fine until I entered the city. Ominous, 3 spooky 5 me, skeleton hand. You know, it's kind of a basic bare bones formula,
Bare
but
bones.
it works.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that. But once again, I cannot stress this enough. Merlin Man, if you are listening to this
No,
by
no.
any means,
No.
because I know you sometimes watch
No,
our
no,
videos
so don't
on
address
Twitter,
people.
I want to tell you, it is not your writing which I dislike. And to the animation studio, who's almost definitely not watching this, but is also on Twitter, it is not your animation which I dislike, or the art design, or anything.
The voice actor, if you're
The
listening to
voice-
this, man.
The voice actor, if
We
you
got
are
a
listening
problem.
to this, you are a very talented voice actor.
Thank you.
But the design choices made for these based on a higher management level really detract from the quality. Let's look back on a nostalgia trip. Past couple weeks, we talked about Bionicle animations. Past couple months, what do we always talk about?
Voice acting.
Do we really?
Good. Yes, the voice acting completely takes over the discussion every single time because it's distracting. The episodes are good, but you walk away, what are you talking about? Oh, the voice acting sucked here, the voice acting, why are they all the same voice actor? Oh, maybe it was surprisingly good here, there's some good voice acting here for a change. Oh, but then this line was delivered weirdly, etc., etc.
Negative.
So, and it's weird, they don't even tell you who the voice actor is in the credits.
Yeah, that bugged me, because I was looking. So I was really waiting to see who this guy is.
What if Merlin Mann is the voice actor? And you're like insulting him alongside praising his writing.
So it's not your writing, it's just your voice.
It's not the voice actor's acting that's the problem. Because he does a really cool narration voice. He can voice act. He cannot voice act 8 characters and expect me to take it even reasonably seriously. He's not that good. He doesn't have that good of a vocal range. And quite frankly, I don't think any of us here could do any better a job.
I don't think any of us can do any better of a job with that amount of characters.
Even you, LJ. LJ can do one voice.
You see, here's the thing. I don't think any of us could do 8 characters, but we could certainly do 1, 2. I swear. Just let me be Lee
That's
one.
What I'm saying. 8.
Let me be Lee one. We'll be all good.
No,
there's just,
no, you won't.
Yes,
no.
it will be.
Yeah, I was saying 8.
That's a terrible idea.
I'm like being devil's advocate. Like, I can criticize this dude every week for months, but really, if they told me, okay, you need to voice 8 characters, I'd probably do it much worse than he does.
I do agree there that, like, having one guy voice all of these characters is really hard.
Technically 9 because of the announcer.
But there is an area of audio that does this and does this very regularly, and some people are really good at it, and that's audiobooks. I don't know if you listen to audiobooks, which you can get from a free trial at audibletrial.com/TTV. But like I used to listen to this series called Freddy the Pig. It is a guy that voiced him. I think his name was John Dunna. He could do amazing voice work. Like he could do several. I mean, he could do not tens, but like, there's at least a dozen characters in a book, and he could voice them all a little differently. Now, of course, it is really hard to do, especially since it's Bionicle, and you have like basically 5 male characters that are talking, plus like the protectors, you know, and the narrator, and then you have Golly, who's it's really hard to do. And I do agree with you on the point that somebody on the design ladder said, hey, let's only have one guy do the voices for all of these.
Yeah. He's the one that really should be blamed, but I do not know who that is, so...
Well, I mean...
It's kinda like...
It might have been a budget issue, you don't know. Maybe he was like, you know, either we get more voice actors, or we're able to do, you know, certain things, maybe we're able to have 6 golden masks made out of 14 karat gold, and he decided on the masks.
I suppose that is definitely possible. Like, we've heard conflicting things about how much budget Bionicle 2015 actually has. Some people have said it's a very low budget theme, and some people have said, no, it has about as much as any other startup theme has, but I'm kind of skeptical on that.
I don't know.
Well, I think what they mean by startup theme is like, if they have the same amount of budget as maybe like, you know,
Ultra
Lego,
Agents.
yeah, Ultra Agents or Lego Adventure, and that's the area it's been given. But there's
Not
other
Ninjago, Chima,
Right.
Elves, etc.
Elves has been interesting how much they're playing
Elves
into
actually
Elves.
has a TV show.
I
Right.
haven't actually been
I
following
find that
that, even though I
interesting.
intended to.
I want to. We should sit down sometime and watch Elves, guys. We'll do a
I
coverage.
have
what
no
it's like.
opposition. I know LJ doesn't want to.
I
but
have low
no
expectations for it, but I've been surprised
it's a
before.
Lego thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, may as well be informed about it, but it's like, I don't know with Bionicle, I'll harp on it till the day I die. I wish it had gotten a TV show.
I officially wish they just hadn't done the whole thing with the golden masks. It seemed completely... I don't know. I feel
would
like the
rather
money.
they have not done them.
I mean, it's obviously a thing to garner publicity, but is that really the best way they could have spent their publicity dollars? I feel like the amount of money it took to
I'll
make-
agree with you there.
It's like the mock contest was a contest for people that were already fans. Let's be real here. I don't think anybody that's very, very bold claim.
I get
The
Very,
idea
very
was
bold claim
that the
to
people
make.
who were
I will
already
admit.
fans could show the people who weren't fans yet that, hey, this is a thing.
Right, that you could do
cool
good
stuff
stuff with CCBS. And I think that's a really smart marketing move. I feel like that was good. I agree with Takuma in the sense that, alright, if they say, okay, we're gonna make one golden mask creation. Okay, I get that, I can get behind that. Or maybe, hey, mask creation and like the mask of, control and the mask of ultimate power. And we have these 3 masks. But they made about 8 masks. They made all the 6 Toa, they made the Lord of Skull Spider's mask, and they also had the mask of creation, because we saw the mask of creation in 14 karat gold. So,
Yeah.
they have 8 masks that were made, and I don't know how much of all of them cost. They might end up like, being expensive, but not
They
expensive
mentioned the
enough.
value of them in a terms and conditions thing for the mask hunt. I'll go see if I can track that down.
Alright.
You see, and this is kind of another one of my problems. Kai, did you have anything more to say? Sorry, didn't mean to
No,
cut you off.
I just want to say that, like, we don't know, until Meso gets back, we don't know how much it costs to produce an episode of the Bionicle animations. So, even though it's like maybe $500 to $1,000 worth, and I don't know how generous that is, but $500 to $1,000 worth for this mask, maybe that isn't enough to fund a TV show.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
I don't know, because I mean, doing a mask for the contest, for like the building contest, that doesn't seem like a bad idea in and of itself. But that only took 1 mask. Now they're giving out these other 6 for taking pictures. This makes no sense to me, because
Yes.
at least with the building contest, you may have been likely to sell some sets and make some money off of that, and actually, get some traction for the theme. Nobody's buying anything. It's just they're snapping pictures that supposedly look kind of like masks. And if I don't see how that's going to get a lot of publicity either, unless people actually go and like decide to look up whatever this whole thing is. Because think about all the people who just got their like Facebook and whatever other feeds just filled with photos of seemingly random junk.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
not,
I'm with you
really
with
think
this.
someone's gonna see a washing machine and go, "Oh, dude, I want to go buy some Lego right now"?
If they had been like, hey, take
is this
your best
getting them
picture
no
of the
money through
sets.
sales, and
Right.
the idea of it spreading publicity is kind of flawed, but they're giving out 6 for this.
If they had been
Whereas
like,
the
hey,
actual
okay,
building
take a
contest,
picture,
they give out 1.
put like pose your set, take a picture, take a nice photo and, submit it and maybe, we'll put it up. That's different than saying, this mask contest. And they're doing, you're right, the thing that gets me is they're giving 6 of them away for this contest.
for just
I
for
understand
just literally
the
taking
idea.
pictures of household objects and or junk.
I agree in the sense that it's very dumb. I haven't even entered the contest. I know Elton has
I
no
haven't
plans
either.
to.
Yeah, no, I
I
don't.
don't think anybody has. But I understand their idea. It came from a good place because the first mask competition, the mock one, no kids were gonna win that. Let's be real. The people that were gonna win that are the older fans, the ones that have a lot of sets and have been around in the community and they know how to mock and stuff. Not to say little kids can't mock, but we know the kind of group of people that were going to enter that and win the big monstrosity mocks. This contest, they wanted kids to have a chance to win, and they wanted it fair, even playing field. However, there's been a lot of controversy because 2 people have won the same. I think 2 people got a gold mask, or at least 2 people won the weekly contest. I'm not sure.
The first mock contest, that wasn't so much a publicity thing for new members of the community. It was for old members. It was all 6 of the websites, and they're just going, all right, we're here now. Oh, hey, Bionicle's back.
No, because like I already said earlier, you missed this bit, but yes, even though the contest was basically entered by people who already had it, I'm pretty sure that the idea was that having a contest where people actually built stuff with this new system, then showed new people that it was viable.
Maybe. I don't know.
The CCBS. It was to take CCBS and say, hey, you can actually make cool stuff with this. And that's why they did it on all these big fan sites and marketing, kind of like mock platforms. There was on
the people who already know how
right.
to use it, to show the people who don't know how to use it.
I don't think
because a lot of
that
people
was
don't
the
like
case,
CCBS.
Actually. No, I actually
do.
don't think that was the case at all because there wasn't an emphasis on CCBS. There wasn't an outright rule that says, hey, only new pieces, guys.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was in the rules somewhere that it was supposed to have the sort of new style, the CCBS style. It didn't have to be exclusively that, but that had to be the basis of it.
Right.
Sure
even it's not, that's a great way to show
Unless
how
I'm thinking
sets
of
are
one
made.
of BZ Power's BBC
or like,
contests.
Because
I
people,
think you are.
the number one people like that, not the number one people, but the people that they want to reach first because they will buy a lot of sets they think they have parts in them that they need are Machas. So to show other Machas that CCBS can produce some new things, some new figures, this was the best way to do it. I think that was a genius marketing ploy.
Again, that would be.
I don't believe there was any emphasis on CCBS because I recall entire entries that did not use a single CCBS.
I'm not saying
piece.
I'm not saying that they exclusively made the contest to be like that. I'm saying that the purpose of the contest was to promote, like in a undercurrent way, to have other people promote it for them.
I don't think so. I think the purpose of the contest was to promote Bionicle being back to the old community. That's what the purpose of the contest was.
And to also show that CCBS could be used.
You see,
even if it's not necessarily CCBS, Technic as a whole doesn't get a whole lot of attention outside of like Mindstorm stuff. I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like you go to Brick Fair, Virginia, and even if it's not Bionicle, pretty much anything Technic outside of things like the Great Ball Contraption just get put in the Bionicle section. Really, really, even though the banner says Bionicle, it might as well just say Technic / CCBS.
The catch-all category. The only rule for parts in the Battle for the Gold Mask contest was your entry must be 75% construction.
I'm not saying that they've made it a rule. I'm saying that was that's the marketing purpose of it, is to get people to do it.
It would make sense what you're saying would make perfect sense if there was any emphasis on CCBS, which there wasn't.
No, I'm not.
You
guys don't understand freaking marketing strategy. It's not.
No, I completely agree.
I understand what you're saying, Kahi.
Right. The whole purpose of it was to promote, not for them to actually say, hey, we're promoting CCBS. They just want to do a normal mock contest, but they're like, hey, if people do enter this, more likely not do CCBS, and that means more people will see what this thing can do, and more markets will buy our sets. That was part of the marketing strategy they had when they did it. That makes sense.
I mean, if they had actually put in a rule that it had to be CCBS, that probably would have hurt them, if anything.
Right, exactly. Because people would be like, well, no, I don't want to,
because CCBS wasn't a thing for old Bionicle yet.
So
then people are like, I've got to go and buy a bunch of stupid Hero Factory because the new Bionicle isn't available yet. So the only CCBS available was like Chima, to some extent, and Hero Factory.
This is complete hearsay because I have not looked through the Battle for the Gold Mask entries. I would bet money that more than half of the entries did not use CCBS.
It does.
In which case, their grand marketing strategy, epic fail.
It
because people didn't use
fail.
CCBS.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Shut up.
No. Okay, first of all, that is an incredibly rude thing to say. Second of all, I see where Kahi's coming from now. I just think it's very stupid.
I don't think
it's not stupid. It's a good idea. It would be a very genius marketing strategy to try to subliminally get people to say, "Oh, hey, Bionicle's back and it's using CCBS." And hey, if they want to use CCBS entries, that will help people realize it can do cool stuff and spread the word.
Obviously, it's not the main point of the contest. The contest had worked on multiple levels in terms of marketing strategy. That's the good marketing campaign. But the real criticism we should put under fire is not the Battle for the Gold Mask. The real thing that we should put under scrutiny is this stupid mass picture taking contest. What's the point of that? There's literally nothing about Bionicle put in that.
We got pretty off point when the whole point was the fact that they used one expensive mask for an actual Lego contest thing, and they're using 6 of them for pictures of garbage.
Right, exactly. Literally,
Yeah.
I
And
saw
home
one of the
appliances.
entries was a picture of a garbage can. Like, it was a
Yes,
garbage
one of
can.
the,
and
it was
the
it was
lid.
like it might have even been a recycling can, but yeah.
yeah,
It was a winning
whatever.
entry,
It
too.
was literally
wasn't
just
a random
a
entry.
winning
They
a
picked
winning
it.
entry was just a picture of a garbage or recycling can.
Well, look, it serves its marketing strategy is twofold. It spreads
trying to
the
promote
word about
recycling?
Bionicle, and it hones in masks.
No, it doesn't spread the word
No,
about
it
Bionicle
doesn't.
because none
It
of this
doesn't
actually
at all.
looks like
How are you
Bionicle.
defending
the
this?
hashtag that
How
you're
are you
required to
saying,
put
oh,
in
the battle for the guild
the
master stupid?
hashtag that you're required to put in every post
Meso,
Oh
if
my
I saw,
hashtag, let
if
me
I,
talk, please, is hashtag BionicleMaskHunt.
okay,
So yeah,
if I had no idea what Bionicle was, and all my feeds just start filling up with pictures of trash cans and garbage and household objects strewn about with this hashtag, the only reason if I am ever going to click that hashtag is to find out what the heck I am supposed to hate now because it's just filling my feed with pointless pictures. I am not going to click on it and go, oh, this is cool. I'm going to click on it and go, this is the stupid thing that's been clogging up my feed with pictures of junk.
Well, I mean, let's also be fair, Takuma. Like, for you, it's never going to actually fill up your feed if you're a person that doesn't know anything about Bionicle. Because how many Bionicle fans does the average person just know that would participate in this contest? I don't think that there's a flood, even when they did, like, you'll see, like, Avengers do a contest, and you don't see a whole flood in your feed of people taking pictures
that defeats
of
the
stuff.
purpose of having the whole hashtag thing.
And exactly, I think it defeats the purpose. I think that this is a really bad marketing ploy, a marketing strategy to do this mask hunt. For one gold mask, sure, okay, maybe that's a cool thing you can do. But for 6 of them, that seems to be really, really stupid, honestly. I don't see where they're going with this. Those are 6 masks you can use for all sorts of other contests.
I have 4 things to say. One of which, the value of each gold mask, I found out. It's $159.
Oh, see, so I was really generous. 500 to 1,000.
It was in the terms and conditions of the BionicleMaskHunt page, the value of each gold mask. Yep.
That makes
Okay,
more
that's
sense.
not so bad then, but it still seems they're not so they're not that expensive, but it still seems pointless to me that they're using 6 for pictures and 1 for actual.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
The reason why, keep in mind, I don't like this contest, but if we want to talk about marketing strategy, there is a marketing strategy behind it. They're trying to engage with kids and provide a fair playing field for all kids to enter, so nobody really has an advantage over anybody else. It's all about your quote-unquote creativity, and they're doing it with this heavy emphasis on social media.
No, I
Get
mean,
kids' attention. You can talk about the pictures of trash cans, but the mock contest was niche. This is widespread.
this is quote-unquote widespread, for one. But 2, the other thing is, I don't fault this for an idea. I fault that, like, they're giving up 6 of these masks for this one thing. Like, if they do just 1 mask, maybe you get, like, a 1 golden mask because of that. Alright. I think alright, I can get what you're saying. Wide reach, so more even playing field, sure. And then save the other masks for other contests on the road. Maybe a story writing contest, maybe an artwork contest, maybe
3.
whatever.
Point 3, I do not believe that LEGO has the budget to do 8 contests. And give away a different Toa mask for each contest.
Then why
It
did they
makes sense
create?
that they would group the
if
Toa
they
masks
don't
in
have
one
the
category.
budget to run that many contests, why would they create that many masks?
Because they were going to give away the 6 Toa masks as part of a set. Because there's 6 Toa.
No, just make 3 masks. Just 2 masks. Just make 1.
And probably because they didn't want to give away designs of future masks, so they used all the ones they currently had. Personally, I would have rather seen a golden protector mask than the 6 Toa masks, but the Toa masks are recognizable imagery. So of course, and they tie into the story, so of course they were going to make them.
Okay,
But like,
here's. Sorry, you still going or?
No, I'm done.
Okay,
You're good.
here's another one of the things that kind of bugs me, is the fact that this is all on like social media. I know every 12-year-old out there has like an iPhone now, but are there really that many on social media that this even makes sense? either there isn't, and that kind of defeats the purpose of the even playing field and everything, because not that many of the actual target age range can easily participate, or it just makes me upset that we have that many 12-year-olds using social media.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lego is a little late to the whole social media game, I feel.
Yeah.
Not in the way that, like, they have a good presence in terms of Twitter when they will respond to people that ask them for help, like, oh, my set came in and, it lost a certain piece. So Lego will respond to you on Twitter a lot of the time and be like, they have a good, sociability presence, but they don't have a social media presence in the way that we're traditionally used to seeing other brands.
No, they have been trying, and they're kind of getting there. But yeah, you're right.
So I feel like they, I saw a interview. This is a little off topic, but it ties back in. I saw an interview from David Letterman the other day talking about Avengers: Age of Ultron. He interviewed Robert Downey Jr. and it was very clear to me that Letterman is kind of out of touch. Like, he was talking to Robert Downey. It was very clear.
Out of touch with life. Yes.
It was very clear that he didn't know anything about what he was talking about. Like, he was like, all right, so what's this movie? This is Age of Ultron, right? And he had no idea what was going on at all. And in that same sense, Lego seems like, to me, it seems like a parent that's trying to get on social media. And if any of you have a parent that's on social media, you know what I'm talking about. In which, like, when they get on there the first time, they know conceptually what they should do on social media, and they kind of know what's cool and what their kids are doing, and they're trying to emulate that a bit. Like, if a parent joins Facebook, they're tagging a lot of people, they're posting a lot of photos, they're making updates about their lives. Sometimes they will post private messages and just post them on your wall, like, when are you coming home, that kind of thing. And it's like, Lego has come on, and again, like, a lot of professional people run this marketing division. I'm not claiming to be better at them at anything, and there's probably other reasons for the stuff that they've done that I don't know about, and none of us know about because we're not professionals.
Marketing strategy,
right? Like, I'm complaining about marketing strategies, but I'm a freaking college student. What do I know, right? These people, they do it for the job. They probably went to college, got degrees, did all this stuff. They're working for Lego. They have a much better idea of what's going on than I do. I can just comment from the sidelines and say, like, this is what it looks like you're doing. Like anybody that will yell at a college coach, like a football coach, and be like, oh, why would you call that play? Obviously enough, they could never coach college football, but we're commenting on it as, as a discussion thing. So I want to make that clear. But in the same vein, I just really don't get what the point is behind all these pictures being taken as part of his contest for 6 golden masks. I don't. I feel like I get what Mess was saying about having an even playing field for kids, but I feel like that could be much better utilized. Much better utilized. And Lego has a pretty consistent contest division, I feel. Because they've been having contests since, like, I see one in the Lego magazine, like, every issue, basically. I feel like they know how to run just contests of stuff. Just maybe not so social media.
Basically, what this all boils down to is questionable decisions being made with Bionicle. Maybe the graphic novels will save us. Maybe the books will save us. I don't know.
They might.
But
we criticize because we care.
Yeah, pretty much. We criticize because we care.
All right. So, Meso, I don't know how much time we have left from this thing. Do any of you have, like, actual ideas of what they should do better? Because we always talk about how oh man, I can't believe the voice acting, this is bad. What can be done better? What is your, like, all right, this will fix Bionicle?
The suggestions I have are obviously not possible within the current
just give them anyways.
Their budget fully fledged voice cast, double or triple the length of episodes, consistent either weekly or probably more likely every 2 weeks release for an episode, alternative forms of story, like regular books, probably comics, an online game to flesh out the world of non-Toa characters, and everything else, honestly, is pretty fine. I like the art style, I like the world of Okoto, they don't need to ditch that. Characters seem fine. The personalities, if they just delved into them more. Yeah, it's close. It's just the execution that I take issue with. The animations need to be overhauled and they need alternative forms of story media. And thankfully we are getting those eventually, so maybe that will turn things around.
I hope so. I mean, like,
I feel like
I
they
hope for
maybe
more
should have
world building.
brought that on a little sooner.
Right. They should have, like, started off the world building a lot more. Like, done a
I
lot
really
about the world
kinda
of
wanna know
Vokodo.
when these... Because they're bringing these books out around the time of all the Skull villains. Is there even going to... Are we even going to get, like, an actual, like, story, book-wise or anything, where we get, like, the part with the Skull Spiders? Or was that little bit just entirely in these animations? Because if that's the case, we really didn't get much.
I hope not, because the winter story is kind of boring. No matter how much you flesh it out, it's just going to be the Toa roaming the island, getting into small skirmishes with skull spiders and chatting with their protectors.
I mean...
The real interesting plot comes with Wave 2.
Here's the thing, though. That's kind of how it was 2001. I mean,
exactly.
but that was still interesting.
Everyone liked 2001 except for you, I guess, or something. I don't know.
I don't want to see it again.
Well, I love
We've been down that road.
a one for life. But I think they did a really good job with the one because they had all the alternative media. They had Monog and they had the comics. So sure, while you could base it on just the Toa roaming the island, getting masked, and having a chat with everyone, it was still interesting. And I think this could be interesting too.
Well, Toa and O1 talked with themselves on their adventures, though. They found other Toa, and they had partnerships with them. In G2, the Toa talk with their protectors, so it would all hinge on how interesting they could make the protectors in book form.
So, well, would you also argue that the Borak saga was pretty lame, because all they did was roam the island, collect the Krana, and talk with each other?
Borak saga had a tangible threat.
Would you say the skull spiders aren't tangible?
Wait,
actually, yes.
They're pushovers.
The Borak were a more tangible threat than Rahi?
100% yes.
How so?
Because they're interesting.
I mean, no.
Interesting?
Mess is not going to do this well. Mess is not going to do this right. Hold on.
Interesting.
The Borak were definitely a more tangible threat than the Rahi, because the Rahi, while they attacked the Matoran villages, the Matoran could stave them off. It would take a while, but they could still get them away from the villages. The Borak were actively destroying everything.
And I get that, but it's still just roam around the island, collect the Krana, and talk to people. Isn't that every story ever? Roam around, do a thing, and talk to people?
Basically.
It was hints of a greater threat to come.
The idea, too, I feel like, with Monog is not just they had additional story formats, because Bionicle 2015 does have that same thing where they have, like, a game that basically tells the same story. Monog was a different game that focused directly on the villagers and their life on the island. And that's why
you got to see the world from different perspectives.
You got to see the world, you got to experience the world from different perspectives. So they knew, like, even though they had a movie and a video game and this online game all planned out, they had a huge thing that they wanted to do, that was caused by, Galador's demise, that they didn't end up following through with. But the idea was that, hey, we will separate the story and we'll do one about the main heroes and the main storyline and then never about the world. And I think that is what's important. It's not just we need a game. We need a game about the world. We need a game about the protectors. We need a game about the history, how things came to be in the island. We need something. It doesn't need to be a game. We need something about the world. We don't have that.
And, something about Monog that I think really kind of hit home, and I never really thought too much about it or was able to put it to words two words until now, was you look at all the other media, like the comics and the other stuff, you're reading, and that stuff's all focused on the Toa. And that's the thing, is that you are just reading about it, or hearing about it, or, watching it. You don't, I'm stumbling over my words here. But, you're just observing it. When you play Matanui online game, you're actually playing as the Matoran, and your actual interaction with this environment is with just the other sort of, common folk of the island. And when you do interact with the Toa, you are again just observing them as they're doing their heroic deeds or whatever. And I feel like maybe subconsciously that helps build up this idea that these are great warriors that are, because the only time you get to see them, you're just observing. And the fact that when you actually do get to interact with the world, there's still like this, on this pedestal above you, I feel like that kind of emphasized the fact that these were great heroes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I do.
No, I do.
I completely do. Makes perfect sense.
It's just,
I don't know, it's like...
There's a certain amount of awe. It's like reading the stuff, it's like, oh, these are the heroes, and then when you actually played as the villagers, I just got this sense of awe when you actually did come in contact with the Toa.
Right.
Yeah.
And because we didn't know who the Toa really were back when the animation stuff came out, that whole thing was really... It was interesting getting to know those characters from that awe standpoint. Where
exactly.
People are spreading rumors about them, like, what is this? Who are these people? Jala just caught him outside Tawahi.
Yeah, Jala successfully caught one.
Yeah. Massive success. Also, just for the record, just going back a little bit, I want to make this clear. LJ, thank you for phrasing that about the bow rock more eloquently than I could have. However, for the record, I do prefer the later years where plot happened to mask collecting on masks.
I figure you do. But,
yeah, I just want to make that clear for the audience.
Okay.
I do. I do prefer those years.
Yeah. Meso, we've recently been getting into debate, Mesovar and I. Not really a debate, but more like a conversation over the last few days.
Late at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, like 3 a.m. We've been discussing 2009, 2008, and how the sets actually look and play into the overall grand scheme in comparison to Hero Factory sets and older Bionicle sets and the grand universe. It's been very interesting because I stand perfectly on the fence while Meso is in support of 09 and Var is against 09, and just listening to both of them
09.
and being
09 is the best.
Being able to look at both of their viewpoints and agree with both of them at the same time is so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate 09 with a passion.
I would ask why, but we would have to launch into a whole other spiel.
Yeah, let's not get into that right now. Kahi, we really need to discuss like another series about this later, but we'll do that afterwards. We have some other things we should get into.
Well, there is one more thing I would like to say about Bionicle.
Oh my gosh,
and that is, I just want to say again before we close, I like Bionicle 2015. I just think the execution could be better.
It's good, but it could have been great.
I see a lot of people who don't share that opinion, and they just don't like the concept of it at all, and that baffles me a little bit. They're like, the atmosphere is wrong. They're like, oh, the tone is wrong. There's too much humor. Or, I don't like the art style. It's a cheap imitation of Monog, and I don't understand that. There's a whole topic on the message boards about it I wanted to mention. They were talking about how Bionicle 2015's atmosphere is too corny, and the events that happen on the island, you can't take them seriously because the art style detracts and it's too cartoonish. And there are certain elements.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
There are certain things, which I can see where they're coming from, but people posted a bunch of screenshots from the animations and they were like debunking each one, saying, oh, they're all a lie, and it's all just corny and joking fun, and there's no sense of urgency and no seriousness. And it completely baffles me because say what you will about the voice acting, but from word go, this story's been very ominous. There's been an over-present sense of danger, and nobody knows what's going on, but there is bad stuff happening. I think they nailed the tone down perfectly. That's the one thing I don't have an issue with.
I think the tone is pretty good. And I feel like it's good from the Toa's perspective in terms of if you compare the Toa's perspective from 2001 to the perspective we have now. Obviously, I feel the tone's better done in Monog, but that's just because of the perspective it has.
It could be better. I just like it as is.
Yeah, I like it too.
And like people are saying, oh, maybe there should be a character death. And I'm like, we're 4 months into the story.
That seems arbitrary.
If there was a character death, who would care?
Exactly. Let's kill some. Okay.
Let's be real here. If somebody died, say the Protector of Fire sacrifices his life to save Tahu. Who cares?
No,
we don't know the Protector of Fire.
It's like in 2001, if the Muwaka actually did kill
Can't
Matoro.
kill someone off.
Right.
Nobody would
be
care.
Like, oh, well, I guess that's kind of sad. But then after time...
It's like, so I guess Nuzu has to find a new translator now.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Characters grow, you grow to care about them, then if they die, it has an emotional impact. If somebody died, it would come off as feeling forced. Like they were trying to manufacture
even though
emotions.
deaths are like one of the there was some sort of study or whatever, but like deaths are one of the biggest, drawing points for any specific series that make, its popularity and stuff. You can't just do it for the sake of killing someone off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, Snape?
Even after you get to know them, you can't just decide, let's just artificially create some sort of drama or whatever by killing a person randomly. No, there has to be some sort of actual
Shut up,
tangible
LJ.
reason.
Snape had a good character arc.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never read Harry Potter?
No.
I've never
No,
read Harry Potter.
Snape's death was you could see that coming, and that meant something by the time it came. And the same thing happens in Game of Thrones, or Walking Dead.
Okay.
And Avengers.
Alright, shut up! Shut up!
Meso,
Meso, you're the worst person. You're literally the worst person alive.
So, Meso...
They killed
do we-
Osama bin Laden. So you're now the worst person alive.
So, Meso, do we have enough time to discuss Boneheads of Voodoo Island?
I mean,
Why
we can
not?
mention it. Faber posted a video where he goes into the Boneheads of Voodoo Island, and
is
I
so
find
great.
it very interesting actually
I
because
didn't see that. Huh.
you totally should. I'll link it right now. It's quite fascinating, but some people think so for different reasons. Everybody likes the figures that have the heads.
Okay.
So much so they've taken to making mocks of them.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I have
Boneheads.
something to say here in regards to this. First of all, my personal apologies to all the fans that have been waiting for us to report on Faber Files. For some reason, we aren't reporting on Faber Files because we expect ourselves to talk about them on TTV, and we never do. So it's just...
We talk about the
keep running out
interesting
of time.
stuff.
So it's just, well, all of it's interesting, Meso. And we're not
Two
talking
different
about it.
degrees.
Yeah,
We will
yeah, I
talk
know,
about the stuff that we can get discussion out of.
Yes, and a lot of it has been discussion worthy, and we haven't been talking about it. So it's a lot of it is just news that goes unreported, by us at least. Second of all,
We're just waiting to make sure we don't spread misinformation, right?
Right.
yeah, of course. Okay, fair point. Second of all, if this had been released instead of Bionicle in 2001, Lego would be dead.
I must agree.
There's a fair chance.
Yeah.
It just this does not look. A lot of people are saying this looks great. This looks good. I wish this was released. No. Don't lie to yourself. The Muwaka got released. That was great. Anything else? Those heads are ridiculous. This line
They
would have
are.
absolutely killed Lego for sure.
Yeah.
You can't
It's
say
cool.
that, but I get where you're coming from, where it's like the Voodoo heads are an interesting concept, but they feel like a never in-between
Galador.
Lego line. Yeah, they feel like
Yeah,
a
like
thing,
Galador.
half there.
I would have bought the heck out of these sets, but I'm grateful we got what we did instead.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what people are saying that, hey, I wish this was released, like, from a release standpoint, where, like, hey, I wish I could buy these. That's
Yeah.
what they're trying to say. I don't think a lot of them are saying, well, I wish this happened instead of Bionicle.
yeah, no, I
Bionicle was the
understand.
best route they could have possibly gone.
Well, I mean, they could have done
Yes.
something, like, extremely better
No.
after that.
Bionicle was great.
We don't
What
know.
I find interesting or not is not the sets that have the heads, it's the Rahi, because you can see direct evolutions of concepts which became the Muwaka, Tarakava, and Manas. The Muwaka is almost unchanged, except for colors. They just made it for Voodoo heads and then ported it to Bionicle, which I find hilariously awesome for some reason. The Tarakava are very interesting, because they're kind of stockier almost. They're like people driving around with treads for legs. They're not like animals or anything. They kind of reminded me of the Boxor, truth be told. And then the Manas
That's
is
kinda cool.
just oddly unsettling and creepy.
No,
It walks around.
it's funny though because they did a lot more changes after this. There are some prototype images of the Manas somewhere, floating around somewhere. They had like big googly eyes and huge pincers.
Yeah.
So
It's just fascinating to see how this stuff changes, and then the canister at the end.
The canister was pretty
Voodoo
cool.
heads.
I mean,
and using
I
the
think they
giant
do look
voodoo
cool.
head at the top.
I think they look pretty cool, honestly. I like how
I
the
don't.
functions work. It's because
I
you
wouldn't
don't
say
like
cool is the
things.
right word. I would say inspired.
They look cool
No, I would
until
say
you
cool.
get up to the neck.
Well,
It's just the heads mostly that just throws me off.
I would buy the heck out of those heads.
No, of course you would.
They're boneheads.
Can we, Takuma? Can we have? Are we gonna see some boneheads in the RPG possibly? For whatever reason, we go to
Throwing an Easter egg.
we go to the island of the boneheads,
The
Your
Voodoo Island.
answer.
Voodoo Island.
The next
Actually,
episode,
this isn't something I considered. This could help me. There's a specific piece of the main story that I've been trying to work the kinks out of. You just gave me an idea.
Let's fire him right now.
Yeah.
Meso.
That could actually. This could actually make the story dark.
Don't
maybe
delay.
even.
Can him today.
Who do you voodoo, Takuma?
Oh no, I'm not going to voodoo anyone
Aw.
necessarily.
Okay.
But this may have actually fixed the broken part of the plot.
Thumbs
Oh,
up,
that's
Kahi.
what I do.
You fixed the plot.
Yeah.
I don't
Alright.
like you very
Now
much
we just
right
have
now.
to wait for everyone to finish characters.
Yeah. Var. Ven. Call him
Thank
out.
you. That was a real nice, impressive fake cough.
You guys need to get on that, okay? Come on.
So,
What takes you?
now, that's pretty much all the news we have. So, Takuma, I think it's time, after weeks of not letting you do it, would you like to share a story of yours?
We're almost at an hour already.
You can do it. It'll be fine. Var won't mind.
I'm pretty sure every time you say Var won't mind, immediately after we get him the audio, he's like, "You guys suck," or something like that.
Last week's was like an hour and 20. He can handle it.
Oh, so just because we've put him through Karzani already, we can, just make him walk through again.
1,000,000 times, yes.
Except this time he has a mug that says "Best Editor Ever" to keep his hopes up. It's like, I've done it. So I walked through Karzani and all I got was this lousy mug. Sure, I'll do it again.
Well, I feel like every time you're like, Var doesn't mind, I'm obligated on behalf of him to say, of course I mind. Because I feel like it's exactly what he would say if he was here.
Probably,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's your call. If you're content with skipping for 3 weeks, we'll end now.
I don't care. It's not like a time-sensitive story.
Yeah,
Your call.
it's a timeless story for the ages.
We'll build a little more suspense first, then. But it's your call. Entirely
Besides,
your
maybe
decision.
by the time I actually get to tell this story, then you guys will have forgotten anything I told you about it, and it'll be funny again.
I don't remember what it is.
Scammers from India?
Oh, okay.
Oh! Dude, my friend just got something like that too. Just over the weekend. Some person just called her randomly. A scammer from India.
Just
I never get
saying
scammers
they
from
work
India.
for Windows servers or whatever?
Yeah, no, this was for like a credit card thing that they signed up and it could win $100. And she kept reading it, and my friend put it on speakerphone, and so we had another friend who was like trying to talk to her, and she's like, "Hello," and she said, "Are you?" And he was like, and we thought, you know what, she might just be an automated thing. So we said, "Are you a robot?" And the lady said, "I will take that as a compliment because that means I'm doing my job in an efficient manner." And we're like, "Oh, I feel kind of bad now." But
Wow.
I mean, we closed it by ordering a pizza, so we didn't feel that bad.
Nice. I've never gotten any calls from scammers from India or otherwise. It's quite nice.
The worst one we get is we get one almost pretty much every day. We get this stupid automated message saying, "This is your second and final notice to lower your credit card rate." Okay,
Yeah,
rating
yeah.
or some or whatever it is. But it's always a computer, and if you actually get a person and you try to say anything to them about getting taken off the list or asking them who they are or what they work for, they just hang up on you.
Yeah.
So yeah, in short, I think we just, for the sake of time, just let my story ride the.
Fair
Fine.
enough.
For now.
We'll do it one day.
Save it for one of those days when we don't have news.
Yep.
Which, who knows, could be soon. Now that there's no episodes, and we're pretty much done with everything until summer, right?
Pretty much. We're not gonna get anything else except for news about like future books and stuff. Cover
Speaking of
art.
which, we didn't cover the graphic novel yet.
I mentioned it in passing.
Yeah.
It's a graphic
I mean,
novel.
what do we know? It's gonna be a graphic novel, right? Woo! We're gonna
The
get a
title for the
novel.
book,
dude.
The title for the book is Island of Lost Masks. So that's cool. Sounds fairly ominous.
You know, it does. I mean, one of the things I asked at New York Comic Con is if Makuta and Ikimu made their own masks, and the guy's like, can't talk about that. He was like, that's a really good question. I can't answer that right now. So, I mean, the Island of Lost Masks, maybe it has something to do with, like, I don't know, I'm speculating. But, like, you know, maybe there's some other people out there who we don't yet know who made the masks.
The great beings!
I almost feel like Island of Lost Masks would be a perfect place to open back up mask collecting.
Yeah. What if that's the only connecting link between the old Bionicle and the new Bionicle is the great beings exist in both worlds? And maybe they could travel between universes or something, and they're the same group of people looking for a do-over.
The mask
That
of reboot.
That would be something of an interesting concept. But,
That would be an interesting plot twist, I think.
you know, it'd
but
be a way
yeah.
to say, hey, they're both still a thing, but yeah, we're ditching the old ways because they're ditching the old ways.
Yeah.
Their creations
who
took
knows?
over, so now they want a do-over.
Nice. Alright, well, I think it's time we end this episode of episodes. It's
Are
been
you gonna
fun,
call it that?
had a lot of good discussion. Maybe next week we will have some more exciting Bionicle news. Oh, who are we kidding? We're probably not going to get anything else till the books.
More or
Rip in
less
peace. Yeah,
It's kind of
Whatever.
it for Bionicle until new stuff.
yep. So it's been fun. Like, comment, rate, share, favorite, subscribe, etc. And post up your thoughts on the TTV message boards. Chime in under the Bionicle discussion. What do you think about the animations? How would you have liked this story to be told? All that fun stuff.
And how many pictures of lousy garbage have you taken this week?
Yeah. So thank you for listening. I'm Messina.
I'm LJ.
I'm Kahi.
And I'm Takuma Nuba.
And this was TTV episode 141. Thanks for listening and goodbye.